time to LOL. Listen out loud, that is. It's time for Anime Jam Session with DJ Ranma S, Mako-chan, and Ari Rockefeller.
Hey everybody, welcome to Anime Jam Session, episode number 650. We are that podcast on anime, games, conventions, the fandom, geek stuff, and everything in between. I'm DJ Von Mess.
And I am Mako-chan.
Ari is off tonight. He's working the overnight shift at his job. And as you can see, I've made some slight changes to my setup. Let's see. As you can see, I just realized for the last couple of episodes I have not changed the title. Well, that's been fixed right now. As you can see, I've adjusted the microphone just a little. Evidently, there has been some issues with people hearing me, so I figure if I move the microphone a little bit higher up, it'll be easier to be picked up, and we'll see how that goes. If it goes the way it should, and there's no need for me to actually upgrade my microphone for the time being. So Mako-chan, how are you feeling tonight?
I'm freaking exhausted.
I feel like I haven't done anything all day today. Long story short, we brought in some new trainees, and one of their MacBooks didn't boot, so I spent almost a few hours trying to get it up and running. It took like the bulk of my day, and I'm just like, I am done. And I had so much stuff coming back to back, and people forgot to submit tickets for it. And some of the work I did, there were no tickets for it. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna do what I gotta do and just get out of here.
Yeah, I got stuck in traffic this morning. Work should start at 8:30.
Hmm?
I leave in time to make it to work by 8:30. Traffic was so bad, I did not walk through the door and sign in until 10 to 10.
What happened?
There was an accident on the parkway,
Hmm?
had everything at a standstill for an hour.
Jesus.
Yeah, and I was in between exits, so I couldn't even get out of there to try and go a different way. So, yeah, that was fun.
Oh, look, I legitimately feel you on that. I mean, generally where I used to live, if there was some type of, if there was issues with the subways or something like, it would skip a stop or it would run express or something like that. And 9 times out of 10, I would still be able to get off at the, I could still take it to my stop and go about my day. Not where I live now. Not here. Something happened at the normal stop that I got off at. So all trains were skipping it. Okay, fine. In a case like this, the stop it was skipping was the stop that I needed to get off at. So I ended up having to take a local train to a shuttle bus that drove us down one stop. And it's just, oh. I've realized that now I gotta leave 5 extra minutes early just to hopefully get to work on time. Like, going in is just hell and chaos, but coming back it's not so bad. I'm just like, I don't get it. I don't understand the traffic in my area. It is what it is. So we're going to mosey on. I'll let y'all know that we're alive tonight, week of October 8th, 2024, right here on Twitch TV. We're here live on Tuesdays from 9 to 10:30 p.m. Eastern. You can always find us at Twitch TV/AnimeJam. We're also proud to be part of the Voice of Geeks Network at vognetwork.com, and you can find them at vognetwork.com. They're also on Twitch, Twitch TV/VogNetwork. They kick things off on Sundays with the Bobby Blackwolf Show starting at 8, followed by Orange Rounds Radio at 9, and then followed by us at Tuesdays. As you can see, if you are participating with us, you can see a better view of my webcam. The fact that Nozomi is my background for my Xbox Series X. Can't beat the class.
Okay. You have to speak into the mic? You are cutting out badly.
How is it that I'm cutting out badly, but yet it wasn't that
When
wasn't
you face away from the microphone, it cuts.
say what now?
Every time you face away from the microphone, it cuts out.
Oh, all right. Hold on. Let me readjust just a scotch. I don't like the way this. All right, that'll work. All right. That should do. I'm gonna end up having to play around with this in order to get the way it does. So
I think you just need to put the microphone on the other side of you, since that's the way you're facing.
that's it's interesting that you say that because I had that set up. I tested that before, and I'm like, you know what? I didn't like it. I didn't like it on the other side. Actually, no. What I did was I rotated the microphone this way, and I moved the webcam over here. I was like, I didn't like the way that was set up, so this is what we'll do. We will adjust the camera on the microphone on the fly right here, and I'll do it this way. Let's see how it plays out. So, is that any better?
We'll see.
Okay. Now, I also realize I need to flip my camera, my camera view around because when I'm looking left, it shows it looks like I'm looking right on the screen. So I'm like, that's not something I really like. So, something tells me I might have to start investing in a bottle of purified. Either is that is just. Anywho, live radio, boys and girls. In this case, live streaming, boys and girls. So now we got that out the way, and we did some on-the-fly edits and changes. Mako-chan, how was your week? How was your day?
Uh, I had all my hair chopped off.
Hmm.
Um, I was just getting really tired of it continuously being caught in the seatbelt. So every time the seatbelt would, slam back, my hair would get stuck in it, and I was just constantly pulling it out of that. So I decided to just have it cut, and then I had layers put into it, so my hair is very light. So now I just need a little bit of water, and my hair just curls. Um, so that's kind of cool. Other than that, I have a job interview tomorrow, so we'll see how that goes.
Oh, let me guess. You never heard back from the other place?
Correct. I never heard back from that other place.
I fucking hate that.
Yeah, well, this is now the second time I've interviewed for them, and the second time that it took at least 2 weeks for them to say, hey, we didn't go with you. Yeah, no shit.
We kind of figured shit out. I mean, at least they finally sent you.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how tomorrow goes. I'm really, really hopeful for the one tomorrow. Um, just because I at least know where I would be going. I really don't want to have to drive into Lakewood again, but it is what it is. So I will take it.
Oh, wow. Okay. So my weekend day has been the same as per normal. I actually went and hung out with a friend over the weekend. We just lounged, and I needed to get away for a while. I'm still getting adjusted and used. Just needed to.
Okay, you are big time cutting out still.
Oh well, how's that?
Well, we'll see how it goes.
All right, you know what I'm also going to do. I don't think this is going to help much. I'm going to boost microphone just a scooch. And I am going to increase the threshold and bring up the gain just a bit. That should do something. And you know what? Let me turn off the equalizer. Maybe that was also doing something too. And the reverb. I'm going to turn that off too. Maybe that was doing something to it as well. Because it's going off. I mean, the meter is going off the way it should be, so you know. So anywho, so like I said, I hung out with a friend for a weekend. I introduced her to the world of Korean fried chicken after we actually went to Kura Sushi. And I think they actually have real wasabi. I think. I mean, Kura Sushi is great, but I will tell you this right now. Expect to kind of pay double what you normally pay for sushi when you go there. Granted, everything is on an automated machine and is made fresh right then and there, but you know, it's kind of more like for the show more than anything else. It's like when you go out for hibachi, you're kind of paying more for the show than the actual food. So,
Yeah, pretty much.
yeah. And they had this thing with Pikmin, and one of my friends is big into Pikmin, so we ate enough for a couple of prizes and T-shirts. So I'm sending my other friend Tori, the T-shirt. I just gotta remember to actually drop it in the mail this week. Thankfully, I have Friday off from work.
That's up for me.
Well,
Day off.
see, what was interesting though, I found my boss had texted me and my coworker Sunday, because every month we have like this big meeting and we have to do a dry run of the entire setup on Thursday or Friday. And then we redo the whole setup on Monday to make sure everything passes. And because there's been some shit that has happened, we actually have to do extra stuff just to cover everything. So that's fine. So I'm like, yeah, I'll be there. That's not a problem. I got there early, so make sure all my morning routine was done before I went to go set up the conference rooms. So my coworker's talking about working remote. I'm like, what do you mean working remote? So one of the heads of people, HR, sent out an email, and I totally had no idea about it because over the weekend my phone updated and I paid it no mind. So I look at the email and I'm just like, oh, okay. I still went into work because I knew how important this was. So, and everything went without a hitch, thankfully.
That's good.
Yeah.
And I'm going to assume that you have Monday off.
No, I have to work Monday.
Okay.
But given, you know, how things are, Monday be probably be pretty damn quiet if you ask me. So. So that's basically has been my week and day. Oh, by the way, Mako, I don't have to go into my storage.
No.
Best Buy has the controller that I bought in storage on sale.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, $20 off. I had a $5 reward, so I was like, you know what, screw that. I'm gonna go ahead and pick that up. And I'm checking my email real quick, and I got an email from UPS about a package delivery from Verizon going to my old house. I'm going to assume they're sending me another box, something like that. So now I'm like, I finally have the stuff to send back to Verizon, but the issue is finding a place that accepts FiOS equipment. I mean, there are so many Verizon wireless places, but maybe like less than a third of them actually accept the equipment. So I'm like, well, we'll see what happens. We'll see how that goes. And given how they're sending me another box, I may be able just to find a spot on Friday and just take it in. So, you know, enough about that. Let's get into some housekeeping notes here real quick. I see that it didn't refresh, so let's go ahead and do that. There we go. Right. want to let you know that episodes of Anime Jam Session are available on our YouTube page. The VODs are there. They go up Thursdays around 12 noon. This is perfect if you don't subscribe to our Twitch feed. And if you want to see episodes more than a year, so you can definitely check them out there. I think we have like maybe almost 3 years of podcast videos up there. And I believe it's also connected to our official podcasting playlist. So definitely check that out. Thursdays at 12 p.m. youtube.com/anime jam session. Don't forget Fans View Friday with Wisteria WT. She had to postpone last week's stream, so this week it will be Animazement 98. So I think I'm if I can get my scanner up in time, or I'll take pictures. I have like right here for those of you who have or who don't remember if I showed it off. This is Animazement 98's program guide. This is the first convention I have ever went to. Yeah, you do the math and figure out my age. And she was like, you should be on this. I'm like, I don't know. I didn't cosplay that year. And she goes, you might be in the background. I'm just like, huh. Okay, we'll see. We will see. And don't forget, we have 2 more conventions coming up this year. Next weekend is another Anime Con in Westford, Massachusetts. AnotherAnimeCon.com, October 18th to the 20th. And the following weekend after that is DerbyCon, October 25th to the 27th in New Brunswick, New Jersey. It's far and few we do back-to-back conventions like that, but I believe these are our last ones. I know Anime New Jersey is coming up, but I don't think we're going to go. I just don't like the location. It just feels like a schlep to get all the way up there, you know?
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised it's not in Parsippany where all these other conventions and stuff are happening. But you know what's interesting though? One of my coworkers was telling me there was a Smallville convention in Parsippany.
That doesn't surprise me.
And she showed it to me. I was like, oh, it's the Walker Stalker people that are running it. And she was telling me how it was her show and this and that. I'm like, yeah, it's going to be pretty small, so it might be worth to just go for one day or something like that. And I'm like, if you're driving, it won't be that bad. I mean, but if you're taking mass transit up there and back, because of how long it's going to take you, I would recommend just booking a room and staying overnight and leaving in the morning. But she told me that they didn't go. So I was like, okay, cool, no problem, all that good stuff. So now we got that out the way. We're gonna get into Geek Roundtable. This is the part of this is the section of the show where we talk about the geekier aspects of our weekend day. So, Mako, please tell to those who are watching and describe to those who are listening this glow-in-the-dark figure that is on your display.
Yeah. So I figured for October, I will bring out some of the spookier aspects of my collection. So this is the Blacklight Elvira doll, Funko Pop. I have one freaking, thing for Blacklight. So it is very not how I would normally display this, but it's the only way that I could get it to correctly glow and not have to hold the damn thing.
Seems legit.
Yeah, so I just wanted to show off some of my fun, spooky stuff, and nothing is better than some spooky Elvira.
I get that. That's pretty cool. All right, so in my storage closet over there are 2 figurines. Eventually, once all of this area is more organized, you can't see on camera, but I have a under bed drawer sitting sideways. Once that's underneath there with stuff, and I have like another setup behind me for things, I will probably put them out on display because I have other stuff I need to get rid of. So, once that's done. Hell, I got a box full of stuff in that's still in the common room, I have to eventually drag in here. Thankfully, some of that stuff is I'm giving to people. I'm mailing off to people like, here, I want you to have this. I realize you'd enjoy these more than I would. Whatever. So, share the wealth. So outside of that, I am caught up with the dub of My Hero Academia, and I know everybody else is already basically done with the season. And I'm like, okay, I decided to watch this season dubbed because dubbed anime is awesome. I have one episode behind on Plus Size Elf, which is pretty interesting. I like that one, and that's basically is it. I haven't watched any other anime. I played a little bit of Legend of Zelda: Echoes of the. I keep calling it Echoes of the Wind, but I know it's not Echoes of. I think it's Echoes of Hope. That I need to get back into playing Karate Kid, even though I'm just not really feeling it. But I'm still glad I bought it to support the game. But I've played better 16-bit retro style games. Oh, and Mako-chan, I got something to show you. I think you're really gonna like.
Oh.
Yep. So, it is a known fact that you are a big fan of the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies.
Yes.
Now, by chance, do you have the soundtracks or listen to the soundtracks?
I listened to the first movie soundtrack.
Which was good.
I wore out the tape. I have it somewhere on CD now, and I have it. Part of that is actually I think all of it is on my phone right now.
I need to reacquire the soundtracks to the first three movies. But when me and CC Graywich, when we went to Undiscovered Realm Comic Con, that's where they had almost the entire movie cast of the Teenage Ninja Turtles there. Between all of that and hanging out and stuff like that, and rewatching the movies, we both realized how much we really enjoy the soundtracks, especially the background tracks.
Mm-hmm.
So, for those of you who cannot see on the screen, I am holding here all three movie soundtracks from right here. But this is not the soundtrack where it has all of the songs and stuff. This is all the background music.
That's cool.
Yep. And before you even say it, yes, I have it already ripped, and you will get a chance to listen to it, if you know what I mean.
Okie dokie. Sounds good to me.
And I realize with my commute now, whenever I finish listening to a podcast, and I'm basically like 10 or 15 minutes away from home, or I'm like on that last stretch, I'm just going to switch over to my music and listen to that, because I realize I spend so much time listening to podcasts. I forget I actually have music on my own on my phone. And there are times I've listened to all my podcasts for the week. I'm just like, well, what else is there for me to listen to? Whatever. So, and there is that. That's basically has been my week and day. I'm still working on Anime NYC photos. The goal is to have them all done by next week, which means I'll actually have breathing room. Actually, the goal is to get the bulk of them done before AAC, and I have to take in my my Mamoru trousers and get them fixed. So I think I could be taking it 2 inches up and on the sides, something like that. So, enough about that. Let's get into tonight's stories. Mako, you want to kick things off, or should I kick things off?
Let me get everything situated.
Okay.
You can start.
Okay. 1 second. I'm trying to look for something here. Oh, okay. Oh, crap. Oh dear, I think we may have a problem. So anywho, I'll have to double check that. So anywho, let's get into tonight's story. We're going to talk about Studio Bones, they're spinning off their production department, and actually what they're going to do, let me add here. So actually what they're going to do, they're actually going to spin it off in its own new company, which I think is really cool. Let's see here. Let me pull this up. And away we go. Wait, oh, hold up. We have a band to do real quick and done. That, y'all. Studio Bones announced last week that they had spun off its production department and established a new company, Bones Film Company Liquidations. The new company's representative directors are Yoshihiro Oyabu and Bones founder President Masahiko Minami. Naoki Amano is the director. Minami founded Bones alongside Sunrise staff members Hiroshi Osaka and Toshihiro Kawamoto in 1998, whose first work included collaborating with Sunrise on Cowboy Bebop the movie. He has been the president and producer for Bones ever since, and is credited as the producer or planning for many of their subsequent productions, including the studio's first original feature-length anime film, Sword of the Stranger, as well as Full Metal Alchemist, My Hero Academia, Eureka 7, Space Dandy, Snow White with the Red Hair, and much, much more. Crunchyroll started streaming a 4-part documentary about Studio Bones called Bones 25, streaming forward in February, commemorating the studio's 25th anniversary. The original television series Metallic Rouge premiered on January 10th on Fuji TV's Plus Ultra programming block. Crunchyroll streamed the series worldwide, excluding Asia, as it aired in Japan. Bones will produce a television anime adaptation of Kei Arana's Gachiakuda manga, slated for release in 2025. Sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, we'll see how well it works out.
I'm all for it. Okay, let's see what else here. Next up, Gundam is going to trading card game. My first thought is, about time.
Yeah, so Bandai announced last Thursday during the Bandai Card Games Next Plan presentation the Gundam card game, which is a new trading card game based on the Mobile Suit Gundam franchise. This is going to launch worldwide in 2025 in 3 languages: Japanese, English, and Chinese. A Gundam card game edition beta set is scheduled for release in December. There is a streaming trailer for it, but the game features mobile suits as unit cards and operators as pilot cards from various series and card battles. There are also battleships and other characters as base cards and command cards. Decks are comprised of 50 cards. Players can attach pilots to units to increase power. Some pairs create special linked units. In addition to standard 1 vs 1 rules, there are also playstyles for Team Battle 2 vs 2 and Battle Royales 3+ players without teams. The Gundam Card Game Edition beta will include 16 booster packs with 9 cards per pack, a fixed set of 56 cards, a legend rare card, play sheet, and 6 dice damage counters. There will be a trial event starting in December, during which this set will be available, including the Bandai Card Games Fest 24-25 early trial event in the Netherlands and Orlando, Florida. There will also be events in select stores in North America, Europe, Latin America, and Oceania. And pre-orders for the game are available on Premium Bandai USA. And it looks like it is going to be all of the different Gundams.
I think it's going to be kind of cool. I figured it'd be a little bit closer to like how you play Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh, you know?
That's what it looks like it's going to be. especially since you have to build onto cards to get, the full effect of them.
Mm-hmm.
But they're, Witch of Mercury, Gundam Wing, they're all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Sorry.
If you're like me and you like to, collect cards, this seems like it's going to be a really fun one to collect. But it also sounds really interesting for gameplay, especially when you get outside of the one versus one. The battle royale sounds kind of fun.
I might pick up a couple of packs and see, I was looking at like back there on my stacks is like a binder of cards from Annie Mayhem, Dragon Ball Z. I think I have some Sailor Moon trading cards and a bunch of Magic the Gathering cards in there too. And I'm like, I could have sworn that in my storage at my friend's house going back about 20 freaking years, I have like more Magic cards in storage, like a couple of decks, and I keep saying I'm gonna go up in that little alcove and pull them out. And at the same time, I'm like, I could have sworn I already did that, but I think that will definitely work. So, oh, PayPal, sometimes you're a bit of a bane of my existence. Let me go ahead and close all this stuff out because that's all taken care of. So now we're going to get into our next story about Webtoon. Okay. Seems that there may be a class action lawsuit regarding security fraud and stocks. That's not good. It seems that multiple law firms are positioning themselves to be the ones to sue Webtoon over alleged security fraud following its IPO on June 27th, 2024. And I'm trying to think if I actually bought any stocks. I have to check. The company raised over $300 million by selling 15 million shares of common stock at $21 a pop. Major banking firms were bullish on the stock's growth, including Goldman Sachs, which touted a $62 price target, and more subdued targets like Morgan Stanley with $23, Deutsche Bank at $25, JP Morgan was $23, all of which collaborated with Webtoon on the IPO. However, following Webtoon's second quarter results in August, the stock quickly tanked, currently around $11.50. Now, if I didn't invest, I think now would be a perfect time, like $10, $11 a stock. I'll take 5, which is basically half its initial value. Several law firms are now alleging security fraud, claiming that Webtoon's IPO statement contained false and omitted information, which, if investors had known, could have changed their decision to invest. A statement from the law firm Robin, Geller, Rudman, and Dowd alleges the IPO's registration statement was materially false and misleading, omitted to state that 1. Webtoon experienced a deceleration in advertisement revenue growth, declined 3.6%. 2. Webtoon experienced a deceleration in IP adaptations revenue, declined 3.7%. And 3. Experienced exposure to weaker foreign currency, which offset the revenue growth. Webtoon's revenue had grown by 0.1%, lower than some analysts had expected, and suffered a net loss of $76.6 million, which attributes to a one-time IPO cost and stock-based compensation expense. The law firms, which there are 3 of them here, they're putting themselves forward to represent aggrieved investors. Each of the linked press releases requests that someone name themselves as lead plaintiff who will act on behalf of all the plaintiffs seeking compensation from Webtoon for the alleged fraud. The deadline closes next month. Multiple commenters have offered reasons for Webtoon's deceleration, with some pointing to the chasing of trends as well as oversaturation of the platform and medium for the same type of stories. This is hardly unique to Webtoon, with Ghost in the Shell Arise director Kazuchika Kise bemoaning the anime's industry's tendency to only adapt isekai stories. Well, I mean, he's not wrong about that, because I think for the last 3-4 years, the number of isekais have been increasing, and 90% of them are getting one season, two tops. Meanwhile, we're already up to episode 50 of season 3 of ReZero, which is one isekai where I feel like they're just changing the rules as they go the fuck along. Follow by Mushiko Tensei, which I have to pick up the RPG for. RPG-inspired action fantasy stories like D&C Webtoon's Biz Solo Leveling and villainous reincarnation titles comprise many of the newer webcomics. Alongside the reveal of upcoming Solo Leveling live action last year, D&C's COO's director Wang Ho Lee shared, "Today we have 10 titles currently being published with the word villainy, and they are all bestsellers, but only 2 with the phrase level up. We think that the level up trend is coming to an end. Webtoon still has other levers to improve its stock performance, including increasing the volume of anime adaptations, including its popular LINE manga service in Japan, and upcoming live-action film and TV adaptations." Okay. You're investing money. You're buying shares of Webtoon. An online digital comic. What the fuck were you really expecting? Seriously. You invested money in a company that specializes in digital comics. There's a saying, a fool and their money are soon parted. But I know what you're thinking. But Ranma, you said earlier you'd buy 5 shares. Yes. Yes, I would. I would be a fool out $60 because it's $11.50 a share, and I have a lot of money in my actual liquid cash in my Robinhood account, okay? It just sits there. I'm like, you know what? I'll throw $60 on that, and let's see where the fuck it goes. And even if it keeps going down, I have other stocks that are going up, so it's not so bad. Mako, what's your thoughts on that shit?
Yeah, it's just I don't there are some things that when they go public, people really need to not go, "Oh, I like this thing, let's buy it," until after other people have lost their damn minds.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it not just with, stocks and crap like that, but even electronics. Sometimes you just got to look at something and go, let's see, what else is out there.
Mm-hmm.
And as much as I like Webtoon, I would not be buying stock in it.
Okay, fair. Now, given so, I remember about 10 years ago when Facebook went public, I actually was able to scrounge up money together and I bought 2 shares. And now those 2 shares are around $1,200, so I'm kind of okay with that. Not everything needs financial investors. Could you just imagine me at the NASDAQ having people invest in Anime Jam Session? AJS Enterprises, we are the future of podcasting and adaptations and news and stuff like that. Never. Never. And we also need to delete that. Yes, I know it's already banned. Can you at least let me delete the damn thing? It's probably already gone. So that's a bit of an uptick in people of bots floating in our chat room tonight. We must be pretty popular.
Hmm.
Oh, good. It's not published in the chat. Perfect. Okay, so let's move along. Marco, what's going on with these piracy sites? I mean, the fact that the U.S. government's getting involved. I
Yeah,
mean,
I saw this.
uh, but Marco, before you continue, I mean, we finished talking about Webtoon investments, and now we move to the government staring at anime piracy. Who is messing with the timelines? Just saying.
Yeah. So, one of the world's biggest anime piracy streaming websites, High Anime, is now officially on the US government's radar following a new report by the Motion Picture Association of America.
Dun dun.
The MPA has sent its overview of quote unquote notorious piracy markets, which includes sites and services believed to be among the worst offenders outside the United States of facilitating piracy, to the US government. The sites listed include notorious piracy sites HighAnime.2 and AnimeFLV.net. The former is the biggest anime piracy site in the world and the 194th biggest site generally from June to August, with a whopping 209.5 million visits over the same period. This is nearly double Crunchyroll's web platform. And the US is responsible for the greatest share of High Anime's traffic, with 36.34%.
Because anime fans are entitled little weebs who believe they shouldn't have to pay for anything. They just want what they want.
Yeah, so AnimeFLV.net is slightly smaller, but by no means insignificant, with 96.4 million visits from June to August. Excluding Spain in first place, its main users hail from Latin America, Mexico, Colombia, Chile, and Argentina. So the MPA comprises of Disney, Netflix, Amazon, Sony Pictures, Warner Brothers, Paramount, and Universal, with all excluding the latter two having major stakes in the anime industry. The MPA has called on all parties to help curb piracy, saying it's imperative that all global stakeholders in the fight against online piracy, including hosting providers, domain name system providers, content delivery networks, reverse proxy and other anonymizing services, registrars, registries, cloud services, advertising networks, payment processors, social networks, and search engines work together to reduce support for notorious offenders. They are directly calling out certain CDN, content delivery services like Cloudflare, for their role in harboring numerous sites notorious for copyright infringement. They store content on behalf of websites. Yes, so the CDN store content on behalf of websites, duplicating it across its servers worldwide. Customers anywhere can get access as quickly as possible. While they're often the targets of subpoenas, demands to provide details of their customers, they also face pressure to transfer or block access to a site against its owner's wishes, both of which Cloudflare often refuses to do. So there are quite a few of them that are on this list, but that is not just all of it. In recent months, due to collaborative efforts between anti-piracy organizations from various countries and government organizations, several anime piracy websites based in Brazil and Vietnam were shut down. In addition, a website based in the US that allegedly hosts pirated Japanese adult content is also being sued for copyright infringement. Japan's Content Overseas Distribution Association, or CODA, is an organization that aims to reduce worldwide piracy and actively promote the international distribution of Japanese content. Revealed on August 26th that through a criminal complaint filed by a CODA member company, several Japanese anime piracy websites in Brazil were exposed in April and subsequently shut down. These sites had subtitled anime in Portuguese and had region-locked Japanese IP addresses from accessing the websites, ostensibly to keep the Japanese rights holders from discovering the sites. Brazil had launched an Operation 404 public-private initiative in 2019 to combat piracy. As part of the initiative, it carried out an Operation Anime, with Phase 2 of that operation starting around September of 2023. As part of the Phase 2, Toei, Toho, and Bandai filed criminal complaints through CODA against several piracy websites in Brazil. 3 sites were shut down as a result. Investigations also led to 3 other websites. These sites are named as Animes House at .net, animesbr.cc, and miyuanime.io, and 10 related sites being shut down. CODA stated these 16 sites had an average monthly traffic of about 21 million visits for the 3 months between November 2023 and January 2024. 11 of those 16 sites have voluntarily transferred domains to authorities and now display a message from CODA about being shut down. As part of the Phase 2 operations, CODA also collaborated with the Copyright Overseas Promotion Association, or COA, of South Korea. Together, the organizations targeted 8 websites. 3 sites were exposed through a CODA member company, and 5 websites were exposed that had pirated webtoons. Part of what I had read before is coming off of Torrent Freak, which does discuss the various streaming sites and what is going on with that. So they reported on August 27th that several non-anime piracy websites such as F-Movies and anime piracy sites such as Anime Surge and Aniwave, formerly 9anime, had shut down. Aniwave had posted on Reddit in late August that it had shut down its website. Reddit users similarly noted in August that the Anime Surge site had been shut down. There are several anime piracy domains with URLs that have Anime Surge or Aniwave in them that have surfaced since the 2 websites shut down and are still accessible. There is a California-based company, PCR Distributing, that filed a lawsuit on August 30th for copyright infringement against the site N-Hentai. PCR Distributing states that it operates under DBA Just USA and claims that the lawsuit that N-Hentai distributes thousands of pirated works, including 5 registered works owned by PCR Distributing. PCR Distributing stated N-Hentai has not attempted to comply with previous DMCA takedown notices, and notes in the lawsuit that N-Hentai does not rely on user-generated or user-uploaded content. The lawsuit claimed N-Hentai averaged around 79.38 million monthly visitors in July of 2024, with visitors from the United States and Japan making up the largest markets. Guys, we've talked about this multiple times. It really sucks, and I understand that because, this goes back, a couple of years where everybody was just out there doing their thing and forcing everybody to own little bits and pieces. And now they're doing it with streaming instead of cable. And we're back to, hey, let's just go ahead and steal it. You know what? You do you, but I would at this point rather um, support the people in the industry, especially with all of the bullshit AI
Mm-hmm.
crap out there now. Um, you want to really show your support for the people that have to deal with all of this and do all of this. Otherwise, you're going to end up with nothing more than AI bullshit as translation, and AI bullshit as voiceover. And seriously, if this is something that, you're looking forward to, good on you, but don't be a dick. Stop it.
The problem is you have Gen X, Gen Y, Millennials, Gen Z, and Gen Alpha with that mindset of, I don't have to pay for it. I already pay for everything else, so this is free. These are the same fucking weebs that will sit there on these bootleg websites and deal with all the advertisements just to watch the anime on their computer when they could just pay $7 to a service and watch it on their big screen TV. These are the same weebs that feel they don't want to put money into the system because they want to say, fuck Sony, fuck Crunchyroll, fuck High Dive. What y'all don't realize is you're fucking the system. You're fucking voice actors. You're fucking engineers. You're fucking people who actually work there. You're actually fucking the Japanese counterparts and the seiyuu and all of that. How you can sit there and be like, oh, Ai Hirano's my favorite. I love her in Haruhi. Meanwhile, you're over here bootlegging season 1. And you could just go on friggin' somewhere. You could probably find it used for $20 or something like that. Come the fuck on. I mean, I get it, but it's not my thing. Again, if we're going to talk piracy, ethical. I'm not going to drop $500 on an out-of-print series, but I sure as hell will acquire it. Now, if the series gets relicensed, hit delete, and I will acquire the series. Case in point, Sailor Moon. Everybody was, like, people were hoarding their ADV box sets and their Geneon box sets going for $300, $400, and $500. The values of that dropped all the way back down because you can now pick up the box sets from Viz. And they're like, oh, I don't like the dub. Well, you can watch the subtitle version for all I care. You can do that. That's the way it should be. If that's how you feel. And another thing, the reason why people are getting away with this is because nobody, believe it, I'm just saying, major companies don't give a fuck about anime. They think it's just adult cartoons or nudie cartoons, this or that. Even though anime brings in so much revenue, I guarantee you, if the bulk of that anime was on HBO Max, or if it was its Max Anime, you best believe Warner Brothers would be hunting these sites down with a shotgun. If it was Peacock, Comcast, yes, Sony should know better, but they're sitting there doing whatever has to be done. And that's basically what it is. And yes, I know people who I'm like, no, don't bring that shit around me. The field of work that I'm in, and you're talking about AI? Look, AI more or less endangered my job. Yes, I work in IT. If I can go somewhere else, I could. But I like where I work. And AI could find itself into my career field as well. So, Pot Coach says Battle of the Planets is out of print. I had to track down an Aussie copy. Cedar Berry says that he prefers to have the good DVDs because I have the cool versions I love, like XL Saga with the ADV notes in the pop-up videos. I think I have a copy of XL Saga floating around in storage. I think it's the re-release by Filmworks or Funimation. I don't remember. All I know is I do have it. It's, you know what's going to happen? It's going to take somebody bootlegging one particular anime for the major companies to wake up and be like, no, we ain't having this shit no more. It takes one. And I'm looking forward to that one, and I tell you that right now. So, anywho, we're going to talk about something kind of cool. Kadokawa is announcing their worldwide drawing anime contest. I think that's really cool. Kadokawa announced on Friday the new Wordless Word Manga Contest, a competition seeking manga without speech bubbles or lettering. The contest is open to world entrants worldwide, and the wordless approach is intended to allow all ages, regardless of language. Winners may get the chance to have a manga serialized in Japan. That's cool. Applicants can enter from Friday until February 28th, 11:59 p.m. Japan Standard Time. The results will be announced in April 2025. Manga artists such as Ranmaru Kotone, who wrote Your Name, Minoji Kurata, who wrote The Apothecary Diaries, and Isuna Hasakura, who wrote Spice and Wolf, will review the winning works. There are two categories. The first is a themed manga award that asks entrants to create a story about the fictional character Don Quixote. The work can feature an original story and setting as long as it's related to Don Quixote. The second is an original manga award category for any story and genre. Works can either be monochrome or in color. It can have between 8 to 60 pages. Manga editors will support the winners from both categories to work on manga creation at Kadokawa. In addition, Kadokawa's Kadokami website will publish winning works. Winners will also be invited to an award ceremony and editorial department tour. For each category, there will be a first place prize of $10,000. There's also a $5,000 reward for second place and $3,000 for third place. This kind of reminds me of what Tokyo Pop did back in the day, but at least this is with a better financial, better company. I think this is really cool. I actually know people I could send this to, but they're already in the industry, so I'm not going to. And we're going to get down to our last story before we hit the cutting room floor. We're talking about anime coming to Universal Studios Hollywood Fan Fest nights. That's awesome.
Yeah, I am kind of looking forward to seeing what they actually do with this.
Mm-hmm.
So Universal Fan Fest Nights is a new and separately ticketed after-hours event that will kick off at Universal Studios Hollywood next spring. They're talking about April 25th until May 18th. So
Okay.
the event nights were first announced to cater to fans of sci-fi, fantasy, gaming, and anime. Universal Studios is holding true to its word for that last part, as it has announced during LA Comic Con that One Piece and Jujutsu Kaisen anime will be part of the festivities. Both of them will have experiences during the event, but Universal Studios did not provide any specifics. In general, the event nights will feature live entertainment, cosplay, characters, food, and merchandise. There will also be other immersive experiences happening simultaneously throughout the park based on Star Trek, Back to the Future, Harry Potter, and Dungeons and Dragons. So it will be from April 25th until May 18th on select nights. So the exact dates are April 25th to 27th, May 2nd to 4th, May 9th through 10th, and 16th through 18th. So that sounds like it's the weekends. So yeah, we know that both of these series are featured in Universal in Japan. So while they can't necessarily bring over any of the rides, maybe there would be a way to switch up the ones that are already in use, specifically the ones that are basically just videos and crap like that, to maybe the ones from Japan with
Mm-hmm.
but we'll see. We just gotta wait, you know, until next spring to see what the hell is going on.
I think that's kind of cool.
I think it's
It's
really cool.
about damn time, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you've got freaking baseball teams that are promoting anime and anime characters and series and stuff like that. Um,
You
you
had
know,
one of the VTubers from HoloLive filled up Dodger Stadium.
yeah. So at this point, it's really should have happened quite a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
I can remember the last time I went to Disney and went into Epcot and went to Japan in Epcot, and they had a crap ton of anime things. And I was so excited to see, so much anime stuff in a place like Disney. So for something like this to be here, um, since I can't exactly cheaply get to Japan,
Mm-hmm.
it's
I think you just cut out.
did I?
Yep, you did. Yeah.
Oops. But yeah.
All right. So at least we have some good stuff to talk about. I'm okay with that. The whole Universal thing that's cool. Maybe we'll see some behind the scenes stuff on Peacock because all one happy dysfunctional family. All right, now we're gonna get into cutting room floor. These are just a couple of articles that did not make the outline, but we wanted you to know about it anyway. And one thing is, the English release has been announced for the Haruhi Suzumiya light novel. Um, it'll launch in English on November 29th. Let's see. I'm trying to see something here real quick. Yen On is the publisher, so you have to go through them to find out more information, and that's all that I really have. And now that we got that out the way, we're not here for the part of the show that y'all really tend to stick around for. Meanwhile in Japan, Mako gets player's choice this week.
I'm gonna go with the second one.
All right, take a look. Ah, I think I'm gonna go with the first one for obvious reasons being. I think this is kind of cool, okay?
I completely agree with that.
Especially the way I've been looking at my phone lately. I'm just like, fuck. Fuck. No, that's not me cutting out. That's just me saying fuck in a low tone.
Yeah, by the way, you haven't cut out since whatever changes you made.
Well, I actually. Well, here's the thing. The microphone is basically in front of me, and I realize this is where it should be. So when I go left or right, it's right there. I think there's
Yeah,
also
even when you look away completely and talk, you can still be heard.
yeah, because before remember it was on an angle over here, so when I went far away, it couldn't be picked up, which is a good thing. And I've realized now that when I'm in my Discord chat, I have to flip to my webcam microphone. That way, when they're having a conversation, I'm over by the bed moving shit around, I can say something and they can actually hear me. So it is what it is. So is that all right? Let's close that out. let's get into some Meanwhile Japan news, which I think is really kind of cool. It's a good one. Let me adjust the volume. The Kyoto company developing autofocus glasses for sufferers of presbyopia and other conditions. So, as per the person that's writing this article, they're saying that they are a sufferer of nearsightedness for most of their life, and getting to the age where you have to read something on a smartphone, they pull the old man move of holding it not too close and not too far, and then fine-tune the distance by shifting their head back so it can be seen. I find myself doing that, but most of the time I just take my glasses off because I'm just like, it's right there. So, but this person's not the only person that has this problem. Everyone is said to develop some degree of presbyphobia, farsightedness due to old age as they get up in years. I think I am nearsighted because I can't see things far away. Got it? I think. I don't remember. I always get them two mixed up. Studies are showing that along with with our increasingly smartphone integrated lives, cases of poor eyesight are steadily rising around the world. Technology is not the only cause of it, but it can be the solution to life's problems. And to that end, they have a company called LCO. It's a startup out of Osaka University that's now based in Kyoto. Their goal is to create a pair of glasses that can automatically focus based on whatever you're looking at. Current eyewear solutions include bifocals, but those are the result of a narrower range of view that can put elderly wearers in danger of bumping into things in their blind spots and falling. Another solution is to have several pairs of glasses, but that's just a pain in the arse, believe you me. I'm just saying I don't own multiple pairs of glasses for that reason, but I'm just saying carrying them around, nope. The autofocus glasses, however, will scan the wearer's eyes to determine what is being looked at and then adjust the lenses to correct the wearer's focus on it. The lenses use a liquid crystal, which can be adjusted electrically, and LCO's particular design is thin and light enough to be worn comfortably like regular glasses. That's cool. Another cool potential benefits these kinds of glasses that they can adapt to the person's own eyesight over time as well. A rather common problem, which most of us are guilty of, is that people continue wearing outdated prescription glasses that end up contributing to the worsening of their eyesight. And I can say straight that I am long overdue for new glasses, and the last time I went, my prescription was basically one and the same, so go fig. The glasses, on the other hand, will always know when and where you have trouble seeing and taking care of it. It's an ambitious project though, and still in the relatively early stages. In the meantime, LCO will be holding a neat exhibition at the Osaka Kansai Expo next year. At the Osaka Healthcare Pavilion, they'll have a VR system set up that will simulate various eye conditions to help understand what sufferers go through and learn a little about their own vision. It should be a real eye-opener for some people because it's not uncommon for someone to go through a part of their life without even realizing they have eyesight problems. The person who wrote this story didn't notice that they were nearsighted till they flunked the eye exam for their driver's license when they were 16. They just assumed that was how everyone saw things up to that point. One way to find out for yourself is to pay LCO a visit at the expo. Don't know the exact date when the expo starts, but it's written so small on the pamphlet, maybe they write this smaller and smaller every year just to mess with us. Ain't that a blip? All right, Mako-chan. On you.
So yeah, like countless other people in Japan, 23-year-old Karen Rio walked into a convenience store to do some shopping on the night of September 16th. But while it's unclear if Rio ever obtained what she'd gone into the store in search of, while she was there, she decided to dispense some justice. So
Get him.
Shortly before 8 p.m. in the Sheets neighborhood of the city of Yokohama's Tsurumi ward, slightly south of Tokyo. While Rio was at the store, a man attempted to shoplift a six-pack of beer, and when he attempted to flee, a clerk confronted him, with the two becoming entangled near the store's exit. Noticing the altercation, Rio stepped in and, after ensnaring the man's legs, brought him to the ground and put him in a headlock. The man attempted to break free by biting Rio on her left forearm with enough force that 2 weeks later there are still visible teeth marks. Rio's grip held fast, though, and she kept the man subdued until the police were summoned and arrived on the scene. She goes, I've never done martial arts. I took tea ceremony lessons, but I like anime, so I just sort of imitated what I've seen in it. At the time, I wasn't scared. It felt like my body was just moving on its own. She recalls adding that it wasn't until after the incident that she stopped to think about the possibility that the man could have had a knife or been otherwise armed. The police praised her courage, but advised others who might witness crimes to prioritize avoiding putting themselves in undue risk and contacting the police. But yeah, here's another one that is very happy about watching her anime and crediting that love of anime for her stopping this thief.
And for the record, it's not the first time we've talked about something like this where, somebody says, well, I've watched anime and learned how to do this, so,
Yeah, so...
Good for her. I'm glad. Great anime heroes. Real anime heroes. Oh, man. All right. I think it's time for us to get up on out of here. It's about that time.
I agree.
Well, as soon as this change is over, go ahead and do that. So, if you like tonight's show, tell a friend. In turn will tell another friend, and so on and so forth. We're independent bloggers, independent podcasters, so what we like and don't like, we're telling you straight up. So, if you have any questions about the show, drop us a line at podcast@animejamsession.com. Again, that is podcast@animejamsession.com. We're here to believe you. And while you're at it, check out our podcast, which is available on Anchor FM, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or whatever app you use to get your podcasts. And what's cool is some of these apps have the option to leave a review or some comments. So please, if you can, we'd like to hear what you got to say about that. We're all for it. Piece of the root. Oh, it's not enabled. Oh well. Don't forget, check out our website at animejamsession.com, where you will find our weekly podcast. You'll find cosplayer tips and tricks, cosplay interviews. You'll also find anime reviews, editorials, links, external links to our YouTube and Facebook pages for convention and cosplay coverage. All that and a lot more at animejamsession.com. And don't forget to follow us on social media. Anime Jam Session on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Follow us on those so you know when we're going live, when we have new articles up, when our podcast is up, photos, videos, all of that. And for those of you who follow us on our socials, thank you so much. We couldn't do it all without you. We really mean that. And don't forget, if you're watching live, participating with us live, we have links to our tip jars down below. It's our Stream Elements, our Streamlab, and our Ko-Fi. If you click on those, you can throw us a few bucks. It goes directly back into the site and keeps things going. Or if you want, you can always cheer us on with some bits, or you can also sub to the channel or give out gift subs. All that's really cool, and we truly appreciate all of that. So now we're going to go around the world. Last words, Mako-chan.
I am very tired, and I can't wait to go to bed.
My last words is tacos.
Tacos?
Yeah, I was listening to a recent episode of Pod Meets World, and they went on this little tangent about tacos. So yeah, tacos. That
Okay.
and I was looking at tacos for lunch, but looking at the price, I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I can wait on that. So that is it. End of list. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode. I already spoke with Barry. They'll be joining us. Ari will be joining us. Mako will be joining us. And we'll hopefully hear some great news about her job prospects and anything else. And we hope that you'll be here with us too. So, I'm Ranma.
And I am Mako-chan.
Great fight. Great night. See you next week.
Good night.
Say goodnight, Mako-chan.
Good night, Mako-chan.
Awesome. Perfect. We're out of here. See you all next week.
This podcast has been a production of Anime Jam Session and AJS Productions. No fanboys and fangirls were hurt, maimed, shot, electrocuted, or pistol whipped in this episode. For now. The views, opinions, and thoughts expressed on this show do not reflect the staff or the network as a whole. But we're still right, damn it. For transcripts of this episode, start typing. Check us out at animejamsession.com and vognetwork.com for more information about us and other programming. Jamatane!